cream. I'm not seeing a lot of ships from them. We could actually be about to win the game, which would be a little surprising, given the number of planets that the Mantis had control over here. I would expect, generally, I would expect more forces now. You know, of course, we did see more earlier in the game. They seem to have been very willing to help their allies, the Terrans, unlike our allies, and nearly as much. So we'll have to see. I freely confess that I don't know what all the, you know, if our enemies with Solarians or other Terrans, I know what tech buildings to attack first. With the Mantis, I can't remember what they all are. I never really played the Mantis much when I played this game a lot, when it was, you know, a kind of a current game. So I didn't learn their buildings terribly well. I used to know their buildings a little bit better just in the days when I knew the game a lot better, just through constant repetition. But I can't really tell you much about their buildings. I do know their ships fairly well, though, and their special abilities, although, as you can see, as you have seen, I don't always know the right name for them. We're going to go check this planet just in case, because we do have to eliminate all the platforms. I don't know that there's any on this planet, and there are not, but we are being... Something's happening here. I don't know what it is. Okay, we've got... Oh, Tiamites moving in. They look like they're moving towards that jump hole. Now, the way the maps are typically laid out, very good chance that through this jump hole that the Tiamats came from is going to be their home system. And I think the Tiamats have made it out to that system. We'll see. Oh, they... Hey, Solarians? There's a Weaver right there. You know, we're supposed to kill those things. Okay, the Solarians may make short work of them here. The Solarians, those are monoliths. That's the Solarian version of the Dreadnought. It's a really awesome ship. As much as I am kind of meh on the human Dreadnought, I really like the Solarian monolith. Ooh, that one's been destroyed. Alright, boys, let's light these guys up. Our battleships should, maybe not make that short work of them. Okay, we're going to destroy this Weaver. Now that, again, is the Mantis version of the... Oh, this is a heavily colonized Solarian system. That's interesting. Anvil, that's a tech building. Xeno Chambers, another tech building. Oxidator, that is their refinery, their harvesting building. Utro Mill, that's their supply platform. Pavilion, I forget what that does. I think you might build some ships there. Okay, we're going to come back here to our area, and we're going to get these ships, all these battleships that we have built. We're going to bring them up into here, in case those Tiamats make it through and decide to hurt us. I'm not terribly worried about this area. It is basically undefended, but on the other hand, it is, I think we're getting pretty close to, you know, winning the game. So I don't know that it's actually going to matter much. I am going to go ahead and build these refineries. Yeah. So, at any rate, let's head up I don't want to do that. I think I just ordered him to do something horribly stupid. Let's have him build that. Now, back to Admiral Halsey. There we go. Up this way, boys. Okay, the Solarians have stopped. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Us? Oh, there they go. Through the jump hole. Now, these Stratums, that is the Solarian version of a supply ship. Solarians are whacking away at that jump gate, and the Weaver, or no, that's a static defense platform of the Mantis. Okay, here comes our ships, our battleships. Admiral Halsey. I like that they keep track of this. He has 226 kills because he's awesome. That's why. And there come the Solarians back, but we're going to go through the wormhole. I love watching them jump through the wormhole. I think it's so much fun. They all kind of gather and then go at one time. Well, you know, a couple of stragglers there. Don't worry, Solarians. The cavalry has arrived. Okay, let's go up this way and see if we, enemy sighted. I don't know. Oh, wow. There's a bunch of monoliths. Those things are going to do a ton of damage. Okay. Let's see if we can find any, Mantis planets here. There ought to be some. Just really a question of where. Oh, here's one. There's bound to be some... Oh, hello. We're going to take out this, Weaver. Okay, Greater Collector. We're gonna chip away at that thing. And the Collector as well. I believe that that is their version of a refinery. And here's another planet over here. Plantation and a carapace plant. And a warlord training ground. Swamp planet. This might be their homeworld. I don't quote me on this, but I think the Mantis actually start out on a swamp planet because of their dependency on crew. That might be wrong. Everybody might start off on a Earth-type planet. I may be totally making that up about the Mantis. All right, the Mantis. That one's down. Let's head back over this way. You can hear the Solarians chipping away at that Scarab. But we're going to continue to scour this system with our... Oh, there is a planet down here. An Earth-type planet. We're going to let the Mantis handle that one. Now, that's actually a Mantis ship. The Mantis have a ship that has an ability, kind of a chameleon ability, and which is more annoying than it is useful as far as I can tell. But there you go. It's never really fools you, because as soon as you mouse over it, you see all the question marks, and there's nothing else in the game that causes that. So, you know. Let's get this siphon destroyed. Seriously, guys, the siphon. There you go. Love the hail of blue bullets. Now let's slip down this way. I'm not sure the Mantis actually have enough firepower to destroy that. Actually, I don't think they do. We better come help them. And this may be the last planet that the Mantis have at the moment. Greater Collector, Cocoon, Mutation Colony, Explosive Range, Naiad. I think the Naiad might be their headquarters. Again, Shouldn't quote me on that. Not a Mantis expert by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, this could be their last planet. 4 planets in the system is around average, I guess. It's unusual. Actually, it's probably higher than average. It's kind of unusual, I think, to see a system, at least on the size settings that we have used in this game, more than like 5 or 4 or so. Oh gosh, there's a lot of monoliths. We're really ganging up on them here at the end. Yeah, we gotta destroy that one. Good job, everybody. Let's focus our fire on the Naiad. The Chameleon ship, again, just sitting there doing nothing. I think that's their Seekers, their scout ships. I think that's why it's not doing anything. It's not actually armed. The energies align in our favor. That's our allies saying we're kicking butt. No kidding. Let's hit this cocoon. That's one of their shipyard type buildings where they grow these nasty things that they call ships. And this is probably the game right here. This is probably the game. We'll hit this mutation colony. They still aren't surrendering, though. A lot of times, if this is their last couple of buildings, they would surrender, which means there's probably another planet in this system somewhere. I suspect there is. Let's go. Oh. Cease fighting, we. Spare us, please. That's bug talk for you win, we lose. And so they say that, and then but they haven't resigned yet. Okay, there it goes. They resigned. A lot of times right after they say something like that, it's just a minute or two later that they resign. So, we've won the game. I know it didn't always look like we were going to. I certainly had my doubts that we would. But let's see what happens at the end of the game. Good old Admiral Halsey here coming through in the clutch. Alright. Alright, yes, we go to the score screen. And you can just kind of see the breakdown of what everybody did in the game. We built way more ships than anybody else. We probably also lost more than anybody else, but we'll be able to see that in another. But that just tells you, that's not how many ships we built. It's kind of some abstract number of points. I don't know how it's calculated. I'm not sure if anyone knows how it's calculated. I'm not sure that it means anything. It's just interesting more than anything else. We did not collect the most resources. Actually, our teammates did, which actually surprises me a little bit. Usually when you play against the AI, you end up collecting a lot more resources than they do. I think that's because the AI, as is typical in RTS games, doesn't have to spend as many resources as a human player would. You know, they get to cheat a little bit. But these tabs down here show you the breakdowns, which is kind of fun. Okay, so we built 163 ships. Wow, not even close. Okay, McLean, that was our Terran opponent. He built the most ships by far at 363. And yet he lost 369. I think that happens, you know, you might be saying, well, how can you lose more ships than you've built? I think that happens because you start the game with a ship and, I don't know, fuzzy math? Yes, we built 163 ships and lost 84 ships. We had the fewest losses, which kind of surprises me because it felt to me that we were taking a lot of casualties in about the middle of the game. But maybe not as many as I thought we were. It can be difficult to tell when the battles are going on. You know, and kind of the back and forth of taking territory in this game. You know how it's really going. We had the most kills by far, which makes sense because we won the game and our allies were largely useless. Converted. 0. You can capture ships in this game and take them over, I think is what that's for. I don't usually do that because it's just easier to kill them. I'm sure that there are people out there who really know how to do that and can make good use of it, but Never found it terribly useful. We only made 2 admirals. Duke Numak, sadly, is not a Klingon. That would be the Mantis. They made 5 admirals. Remember, we killed 2 or 3 of them ourselves. And the Terrans made 3. So, you know, we ended up doing fairly well here, and I'm kind of a little surprised by that. Like I said, I felt like we were taking a lot of casualties. So, nice to see I was wrong about that. Oh yeah, it tells you the total game time down here. 2 hours, 6 minutes, 6 seconds. Our platforms, we built 66. We only lost 2. We killed 74 platforms. That's kind of normal numbers for me personally. I tend to play very defensively, and usually don't build platforms I'm not pretty confident that I can protect. You know, not that you should always do things like I do, because probably there are better players out there who could have won this game way faster than I did. We did have some difficult strategic layouts of our maps, but, you know, I also probably am not the most efficient player at this game. I really like this game, but I don't claim to be an expert in any way. And here's the resources breakdown, which is fun to look at too. Of course, the Mantis player is always going to have more crew than anybody else. We were 2nd place. We did not win in ore. The other Terran player did. We were a very close 2nd, though. Gas is almost always going to be the Solarian player if there's one in the game. And there's your resource totals. Again, we weren't first. The Solarians were. Again, kind of surprising. In a lot of games, if you're playing against the AI, you're going to end up being first in resources collected. This one didn't quite go that way. So, yeah, it was an interesting game. There were certainly times there when things were very uncertain. There were times when we were scrambling, largely because of my mistakes in playing the game, like not recruiting any crew, for example. But you know, there's a big element of timing in the game if you want to be successful. Knowing when to attack is often as important as where you attack and with what. I mean, any combat ships can destroy platforms, but you know, if you don't time your attack right, you're gonna meet, you know, a lot of resistance and not have as many ships left to actually attack the platforms, not have as many supplies left to make as long an attack as you might like to make. So you know, we did well with our timing. We attacked at the right time to get the Terran player. And really, once the Terran player was defeated, since we still had our ally at that point, it was really just a matter of time. I mean, we technically could have called the game right there. There was no way that the Mantis player was going to beat both myself and the Solarian AI player, our ally. I have had games where the AI kind of ganged up on my NPC ally, and it ended up being a 2-on-1, and those can be some entertaining games. I certainly haven't won all of those. You know, and certainly the solar system maps are random, so you can end up with some positions that are really difficult to defend, kind of like we did in that 3rd system we were in for so long and kind of based ourselves out of for so long. But yeah, it's a great game. Not perfect, but really interesting. Offers a lot of strategic and tactical depth that I think, in my opinion at least, a lot of other RTS games don't have. I would even venture to mention StarCraft. I personally think this game is a superior game, but that's just one man's opinion. So, if you're interested in this game, you can buy it on GOG, goodoldgames.com, for I think $5.99 when it's not on sale. I think that's the regular price. I will warn you that if you're running Windows 8 or Windows 8.1, a lot of people on the forums, the GOG forums, have reported not being able to get the game to work. So, just bear that in mind. You know, somebody will probably figure it out at some point, but as I sit here and record this on June the 6th of 2014, I don't think anybody's got that one really figured out terribly well. But if you're running Windows 7 or Vista or, you know, anything else, I think you'll be fine. So pick it up. It's be $6 well spent if you're an RTS fan and are looking for something a little different. I've really enjoyed making this first Let's Play. I think I'm going to take a little break from Conquest Frontier Wars. I may come back to it at a later time and do maybe the campaign or play another game with the against the AI with the Solarians, perhaps, which is my kind of second favorite of the 3 races. But I've got a couple of other games that I would like to do. So if you've been watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. It'll be fun.